So if you watched any of our recent videos, you know I'm super bullish on Tesla. Yesterday I released a video about Tesla Robotaxi network and the impact of its launch on 8th of August and the significant impact it could have on the stock price. And I just put in some numbers, assume Tesla's growing their sales, car sales, unit sales by say 30% or so over the next 6 years. So nothing too bullish. And I assume they have an 8-year lifetime. So we have a relative small churn rate on the newly printed newly printed robotaxis. And I assume that, of course, they solve FSD and stuff, right? And all of these, are not too out there predictions. I'm pretty confident this will happen very soon. We collectively as humanity, we are scaling up AI training and AI inference, and we are seeing the AI scaling laws working in different areas, we just need to throw in more compute power at those problems, and they will get solved. And we will very soon have cars that have capabilities beyond human drivers. And if you have cars with capabilities beyond human drivers, of course, there's an economic interest to create self-driving cars and to launch self-driving cars in the economy, because now they can create economic output. Like a country or a jurisdiction that doesn't allow self-driving cars actually has a disadvantage in the global economy. The logistics sector is one of the cost drivers of each product, and if there's a productivity constraint like this, not allowing robotics and automation in a country, then this country will fall behind other countries. And North Korea is a great example of a country that has fallen behind significantly because of too many constraints on their citizens. And in the end, nobody really closes themselves out of groundbreaking technology like AI or the internet and so on, or say other type of groundbreaking technologies. So they will get used. We will get jurisdictional acceptance of robotaxis, and the self-driving cars will be on the road very soon. And we already see self-driving cars on the road. We don't even need to be too visionary. So I don't get why people bashing me in the comments actually not believing anything about the robotaxi story. So we see this is Apollo robotaxis by Baidu, the search giant or tech giant, and they have already launched a fleet of robotaxis. We have Cruise. They are already out there with some robotaxis, mostly based on LiDAR. Baidu as well, and Waymo also. Waymo, Google's robotaxi service, also already out there with a lot of sensors. And a friend of mine, Charming Data, Adam from the Charming Data YouTube channel, he has already driven them in San Francisco. So it is definitely happening, right? It is happening. And now I want to have a very basic discussion here, and this is, check out this conceptual graph here. So this one are the capabilities, on the y-axis we have the capabilities of AI models, and this one is time. And over time, all of these charts look like this. So we have these kind of growth curves, and proof here. Look at this graph. Here we see different models like Google's transformer model, the initial transformer model, OpenAI GPT, Google BERT, OpenAI GPT-2, NVIDIA Megatron LM, Microsoft, OpenAI GPT-3, Transformer, GPT-4. It always goes down, right? Every year model size increases by 10x in this example. So the chart always is looking like this, right? If you have a log plot, then it looks like this. So it grows exponentially. If you have all these graphs, this is like the proof of my sketch that I just did. We always see this behavior. So we see a significant accelerating growth curve of each AI application. And these are basically, this comes from the scaling laws, which argues that it scales like with the power law. So for each, or maybe Wright laws, you could argue. So for each cumulative doubling of model size or so, or experience, learning curves and so on, for each, like the more experience we gain, the more data we process, the more compute we throw at a problem, the better the performance. And now that, let's say this vertical bar here is the threshold of car being able to drive itself, FSD, full self-driving, right? So as soon as we cross this threshold, we are maybe safer than a taxi driver, than a good taxi driver with good scores, right? So maybe if we are still here, we are maybe safer than some teenagers. If we are here, we are maybe safer than the safest human drivers. And if we are here, kind of, we never have an accident again, right? So in this curve, it looks like this, and we are somewhere here, right? We are somewhere in this area, in this area. Maybe we are already better than the average human driver, the average self-driver. Maybe we are still slightly worse, so we need to wait a small amount of time. But as the slope is increasing here in this curve, the slope is accelerating. So it will be very quick. It won't be like a decade or so, right? It will be very, very quick time frame until we reach this threshold, and then we will see self-driving cars everywhere. We will see them, they will explode. The cost argument is just too strong. We don't need a driver anymore, right? And the driver is the main cost driver, so to say, in the logistics sector. The drivers are very expensive, and we can get rid of them. And the drivers also make a lot of accident, and we can get rid of all these accidents as well. So there's like a win-win, and it's also great, like not to have a taxi driver, not to need to talk to them, but just go into the robotaxi. The experience is better. We don't want to talk to the driver. We just want to sit in a robotaxi and watch our screen, watch our smartphone or so. So this is what is happening, right? I mean, we can be sure of this. I mean, this is like almost a 100% certainty that this will happen. And there's no way of kind of arguing against this truth. Now there's one worry I have regarding Tesla. I'm really bullish about Tesla, but there's one worry I have, and this is that the capabilities of these large language models, you see, we have different large language models here. We have large language models by OpenAI and by NVIDIA, by Microsoft, by Google, and each time, say OpenAI launches GPT-2, it was much better than BERT. So they beat BERT, right? OpenAI always beat all competition. But then a couple of months later, due to this slope, we see another language model that actually beats OpenAI, and OpenAI needs to beat them again with the new version, right? And this is like the thing is, with this kind of slope, you are always only a few months better. And as soon as we cross this FSD threshold here, actually these kind of models become more or less interchangeable, right? And I think this is one issue I have. So say this one would be now the improvement curve or the learning curve of Tesla. And Tesla has the lead. Tesla will solve FSD just based on vision and camera sensors, not based on radar or anything like these expensive sensors that are also not too useful, basically, in many environments, because the streets are designed for human beings with eyes. So a car with camera sensors should be perfectly able to solve it. But a car with LiDAR sensors will run into troubles because it detects things that are probably not there, that are problematic. There's some disturbance or noise, basically, that can only be solved by image understanding, because roads are designed for human beings with eyes. Okay, so Tesla is the leader, right? We all agree on this. But now let's look at this curve here, this dotted curve. The slope might not be as high, and it might be like all of this might happen later. But say this curve is a curve of another company such as Waymo. Let's just write WM. So this is Waymo maybe, or Baidu, Apollo, or any other kind of service, right? It could be also an NVIDIA service, right? I mean, it could be anything. It is like any competitor could basically also, or will also, is currently also researching on this problem. And you see, they are also crossing this threshold for sure. Much like Tesla, they will cross this threshold for sure. And after they cross this threshold, they will soon be better than every human driver in the world, and soon never make any accident again. And the difference here, like if we watch the difference between those 2 points in times, it might only be a couple of months or even maybe a few years, but very little time basically, in the big scheme of things. After a few years, basically all models will be able to drive at superhuman performance. We will have huge models, and with a huge amount of data, huge amount of training, huge amount of compute, like maybe maybe they will collaborate, like NVIDIA with the foundational model for humanoid robots, the crude model. They provide they are an effective competition to the company Tesla that is basically the first mover in the market. But soon, I mean, as you can see plain and clearly here at this conceptual graph, that very soon, only a couple of months or years, due to the exponential improvement of the models, the follow-up models, the competitor models will also be able to do the full self-driving better than the best human beings. And in this case, we will see a commodity market emerge, right? And we will see the cost of robotaxi usage basically dropping to the raw cost of, say, providing the material, assembling the material, creating the electric vehicles, create the basic cost for AI training, and so on. So, and the profit margin will basically reduce, and only the company that produces the cars at the lowest cost basically will survive. And I think Tesla will be this company. I think Tesla produces at the lowest cost. Some companies might sell a car that is cheaper, but those cars are either not capable of robotaxi because they don't have the sensors and the inference compute built in. So they don't really produce capable robotaxis yet. And if they did, they would produce it at a higher cost, or they would, they just sell the car at a lower price and make a profit, make a loss for each sold unit. So the competition basically, but then the competition is basically not able to beat Tesla as the low-cost producer of electric smart vehicles or autonomous vehicles, AVs. And I think this is a true mode Tesla has to be the best, to have the best production capabilities out there. And this is the basic mode that eventually everything will. This will be the selling point, right? And the selling point will not be having the best model, in my opinion, because all models are basically superhuman very soon. Only in this period of time has Tesla the advantage, right? After that, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, if I have one accident every, say, year, and now I improve the model and I have 0.5 accidents every year, this is great, right? But would people really pay like significantly for it? I doubt it, right? And if they don't, then we have a commodity market where it's just about price. And then we can have the luxury segment and so on. So we can have the luxury provider we have a brand-based competition or a production-based competition. So we have a normal marketplace of this commodity product, basically of going from A to B. And we see it like in the public transport sector. There's very little profit to be made, like in the airplane industry or so. There's very little profit. And airplane business is usually a bad business because it's a commodity business, right? I just take the vehicle with the lowest cost to get me to point B. And after we have developed the Robotaxi, I mean, all of them have it, right? I mean, all of them share maybe the same foundational model. The competition might have a model that is slightly worse than Tesla, but in a month later or so, the model is better than the model, the previous model by Tesla had. Sure, in this month, Tesla might have again a much better model, so they might maintain their lead, but it doesn't mean too much anymore, right? Because we have already reached superhuman driving performance. And the dynamics, the competitive dynamics are now for other variables. This is the main takeaway of this video that I wanted to deliver. Other variables will decide whether where the money is made in the robotaxi industry. And I think Tesla still has a lot of moats, and the moats are mainly around production efficiency, brand, the luxury segment. Coming from the luxury segment, they can sell cars maybe a bit more expensive, a few $1,000 more expensive, because they have such great luxury items in the Tesla, right? Great apps, great screen and so on, and it's like the comfortable seats, and these kind of things, they matter, so they can charge a bit more and make a higher profit than maybe the low cost provider. And they should, and if they strive to be the low cost provider, then they could do so as well, because they have the lowest production cost. Then of course all the robotaxi models we are currently seeing that are based on, say, 20 cent income per mile, or even $1 income per mile or so, they are not really valid anymore, right? Because it will be raised to zero, right? I mean, if Tesla charges $1 a mile, and there's another company that is slightly less safe but still superhuman performance, and charges only 20 cents, then this company will smoke Tesla. So Tesla needs to join the price competition, the price war, and this might be problematic. And that's why I also don't invest in Tesla due to the Robotaxi network. I'm really bullish about it. I think they have lots of moats, and I think they will remain the leader and will make money. They might make a bit less money than we expect now. We surely cannot compare it to Uber drivers, like making 70K per year or so, because of like the competitive pressure. As soon as we will see this, I mean, this logic is just too strong, right? You cannot argue with this logic, and that's why the competition will really change the dynamics of this robotaxi market. And it will be different for other markets, say the humanoid robots market or so, because the capabilities are more than just one-dimensional. For robotaxis, we have a one-dimensional product segment, right? Which is just having like basically this model. If the model drives super safe, then that's it. I mean, that's the best model you can have for self-driving, right? Then it can't drive, check, and you cannot improve upon this a lot, right? That's significantly. But for the bot, it's completely different, because now, and the bot is a multi-dimensional beast. You can add new functionalities, like having capabilities no other bot manufacturer has, and just loading those capabilities up via software updates will be a competitive advantage that it can maintain for a long period of time, and that will be worth a lot. There's a lot of margin to be squeezed out due to the long-term competitive advantage for the bot. That's why I invest mostly based on the bot. I think they will still make a lot of money with the Robotaxi network, but there is this dynamic that needs to be considered by Tesla investors. Maybe you have already considered it. Good for you. Maybe not. Then think about it. Think about if you believe that Tesla can still maintain a lead based on only production capabilities, and think about whether Tesla can basically win this price war against, say, Chinese competition and so on. And I think they are at a good position, but who knows? It's a bit more less uncertain than the bet on bot. Okay, thanks for checking this out. If you like these kind of videos, then give me a like, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of technological breakthroughs and videos about disruptive innovation. My main goal with the channel and with Finxter overall is to keep you on the right side of change. If you want to join us, then go ahead, just type in finxter.com. You can check out our blog here. You can put in your email, join for free, and I will send you regular emails. I will keep you updated. And yeah, as I said, my main goal is to help you be on the right side of change. Thanks for giving me your attention. I appreciate having you here, and see you in the next video. Bye.